Hello dear friends, we are glad to welcome you to our channel Universal Life Management. I am Julianna Apostol, psychologist, translator and volunteer. We continue our analysis of the interview with Bhante Shivling. Today is part 4, about the suffering of the rich and poor people, and whether there are practical solutions in Buddhism for social problems and suffering. Listen, and after I will give comments. And you can write yours, even if you do not agree with our conclusions.
This moment, it's little doubtful for me, because many suffering we're looking around like war.
You see,
I can't be happy
this
by
suffering is you
seeing.
cannot. This suffering, this kind of suffering, people don't have food, don't have clothes. You know, this is the not suffering. You actually you find
It's
this is
not
the only
suffering.
part of. This is only very part of our survival problems. You know, people are having worldwide. You know, there are bigger suffering than that. You know, this is the we are lacking of comfort. You know, comfortable life, because some people have much, some people have less. This is the difference actually.
Yes,
It is a kind
but
of suffering.
I can't understand just if like a self-realized person looking it and not feel suffering.
There were many people still there, even they do not have a
Even little not.
yeah, even the bigger homes, even the bigger home, some people of course they have this kind of dreams. I have a good home, you know, they have this
Yes.
kind of, everyone have this small hope, you know, everyone wants to have a good shelter, good home, you know, comfortable life.
Yes.
This is the very human needs, you know, it's the needs of everyone. Even any animal want to give a good food to babies, you know, animals. This is everyone. This is very common to all, not only to human being. It's a common to all, because it's a needs of the body. It's a needs of the mind. There's two things. You know, there is something needs to the body. Do you think that the comfortable life people, suppose they are rich people, for example, there are many rich people. Do you think that all these rich people have a very happy life? Even after having
I
everything?
don't think. Yeah, but it's different. They can be happy by like materialistic things,
Exactly.
but unhappy for like
In other way.
relationship or
In
some
other
work.
way, in some
Yeah.
other way. So that is why we are telling, in Indian philosophy, in Indian concept of happiness is different than the happiness of that what people thinking is the material brings, you know, material comfort. Someone can give peace, you know, peace. Peace is something, everything people are having, suppose. But the rich people, they can't sleep. If they cannot sleep at night, peaceful sleep, sound sleep, many rich people has to take drugs. Many people has to take alcohol. Many people has to take medicine. They do not can have a natural sleep, sound sleep. But very poor people maybe don't have even the full stomach, they even the half clothed, but they still can have a sound sleep, still can have a good sleep without so much disturb. And this happiness is a different phenomena, that it doesn't depend on your food, it doesn't depend on your clothes, not your palace, not the home. It's a different phenomena. You have to understand that. That cannot. For example, another story is Buddha's. When Buddha was there somewhere in Rajgir or Nalanda, he was very in the morning, early morning. He was somewhere under the tree, and one prince in the morning walk, he went to Buddha. He looked at Buddha. So overnight, he went to Buddha. Have you spent overnight under this tree? It's a cold winter. The Buddha says yes. So then I spent whole night. Then he asked, this prince asked, then have you had a good sleep or sound sleep? This cold winter. So Buddha said, of course, I'm one of that person that in the world who will have a sound sleep, you know. Then at the end of discussion, Buddha asked question from this prince. Oh prince, may I ask you a question? Then he said, yes, of course. Then Buddha asked, suppose you are a prince, you have a palace, and full of that kind of comfortable things to save yourself from winter, from cold, from wind. So you have all the comfortable clothes, etc. So now you're going to bed. At that moment, when you're on the bed, at that moment, if your mind disturbed with the lust, feeling of lust, or feeling of anger, or feeling of hatred, so how is possible? Could you have a comfortable sleep? Sound, even after having a palace, even after having all the comfortable things. But if you get anger at that moment, on whatever reasons, or hatred, or something, or someone, or if you have a feeling of lust, or something, so it's impossible to have a peaceful, sound sleep. You will whole night you will disturb in the bed. So this is happening. Most of the people, most in Western and European countries, most of the people having this disorder. It's a mental disorder, even after having so much of comfortable things to have in the material life. So we cannot judge on the basis of food, on the basis of little things, lack of that kind of material. Someone have a peaceful life, not the comfortable life. Of course, you have a very comfortable food. People have rich people can have maybe hundreds of desserts. There's a comfort, you can feed it, you know. You may have a very good clothes in winter, but the poor person may be nothing to wear. But it's still you can find. But from outlook, you know, from distance, we think, oh, this is very miserable. Because this is how our mindset used to see that. Oh, this is the miserable. Actually, this is not that miserable that the rich people are having, you know, when they're going to bed without medicine, without alcohol, without drugs, you know. That is the more miserable thing, you know, more miserable thing. You can think about how the people go to jails. So many inmates in the jail. For what reasons? You know, there's rich people in the jails. You know, rich young people in the jails. For what reasons? You know, what are lacking of? What are lacking of?
You think it's like tendency? So all rich people basically had
Not
this
all
tendency.
the rich people, some.
And,
So mostly you can say.
In this sense, no meaning like whoever poor, whoever like rich. When realized person looking like some suffering, he's thinking it's because of your mind. Yeah, because of you have no peaceful of mind, so you're suffering. Not because really you like have no food or you like now in fighting condition.
Exactly.
Ultimately, it's your problem. Like this.
These are the taking care of the poor people is the matter of the government. You know, they have to handle the things. You know, if there are poor people, you have to control the population. You know, you have to. Why you keep on seeing all this population? You know, why people should begging? You know, this is not under your control, anyone's hands. That is the who rule the country. You know, who rule manage the country. They have to have this kind of system in this country, in any country. I mean, because why you want to more people if they are more suffering? If you cannot give enough food, you know, because that is how the ruling is there. Because you have to have this kind of
so
thing.
Means in Buddhism also some point of view about social system, about economics also they have. And think that it can be usable for society.
Exactly.
In Buddhism, this exists.
Actually, in the Buddha's teaching, he talked to the mind mostly. He talked to the mind, not the material life. Material life may today the poor person. Maybe if you give money, tomorrow you become rich. So matter finish. You know, but Buddha's talking is a very high. You know, we cannot, because today suppose rich person today, very rich. Tomorrow maybe he become poor.
Yeah.
It has happened. It has happened in front of our eyes. In these countries, in many countries. You know, it happened. So that is why he doesn't judge the people on outlook. On outlook. Oh, your material richness. It is okay if you have a good food. Of course, who wants to suffer? Because if people before going to the temple, they need some food. Before going to the teaching, they need some food. If the stomach is, is painful, even the teaching doesn't help. So in that way, every mother want to milk to their children. Give some food to their children. So they think religion is not first. We have to understand this. Religion is not the first. Religion is the first your survival. You have to have your food thing. That is why religion is that when needs come, is somewhere needs come. Your need, you need peace. That the coming, how the question of that religion comes. When you continuously are restless, you understand something. Life is restless. So at that moment, the question, what is the meaning? How to find the truth? Is there any truth? It's not coming, this question not coming to in everyone's mind. It doesn't come. It's only very few. Only very few it comes to understand. So in that way, that is why there is no that kind of purpose. If you ask, what is the purpose of life? There is no exact purpose that we can say, oh, this is the purpose of life.
Of this life, but there is some ultimate aim beyond of life.
Yeah, beyond this, our existence.
Beyond of existence.
Beyond our this conditions, life, our existence, we can find something.
In this part, Bhante says that all people need food, shelter, and other things for their base needs. And the government should take care of it, create a good social system. It is not the responsibility of Buddha. He helps eliminate other suffering, what rich people also have. Here Bhante tells a story about Buddha and Prince. Buddha sleeps peacefully, has no worries, his mind is stable and calm. But Prince is unrestful, his mind is not in peace. But it is right to compare the position of Buddha and Prince. Buddha does not engage in any social activities, has no responsibility to the citizen of his country. But Prince has. Buddha is completely dependent financially on other people, like Prince. But Prince and his government should think about the well-being of citizens, including Buddha and his monks. In the place of Prince, Buddha would also have had a lot of responsibility and would have to solve many state problems. And what solution does Buddha give to the rich in this story? It seems that the only way for Prince is to leave his duties, to stop working hard, not to desire more wealth. Physical body needs only some food, clothes, and place to live. Although we know the government cannot provide many people even these basic needs. Why? No answer. And this is a big contradiction. On the one hand, Bhante says that poor, hungry people cannot practice religion and meditate. They can only think about food and survival. So poverty is bad. But who should take care about them? Buddha does not do this. The government is also unable to give them full satisfaction. Even if you become unkind and immoral, you can't feed this huge number of the poor. This requires a system for complete social management. So, there are no solutions to solving problems. The poor are forced to continue to suffer and live hard life. And there are no meaning to teach them about spirituality. But such people are no less than 90% of the population. In Buddha time also, and now. That is, so many people cannot be saved by Buddhism. Does an enlightened person suffer when he sees such people? On the one hand, Buddha should have karuna, compassion. He should feel bad seeing suffering of others. But on the other hand, he does not explain any model of social system for their good lives. And one more strange idea, that enlightened person is always happy. Is it possible to be happy when there are so many suffering around, especially if no solutions? It sounds contradictory. Bhante also says that the rich people suffer more than poor, but he does not clearly explain why they have insomnia, smoke, drink alcohol and drugs. He only says that their mind is filled with fighting, hatred, jealous, greed. But the poor have the same mental and emotional suffering. The rich at least financially satisfied, while the poor have nothing. So it can't be right. It may seem that poor sleep well, but most likely they're just very tired, all day doing hard, difficult work without food. And they just fall into unconscious state. It's not peaceful sleep. Also, the poor has many worries about future. They drink alcohol. In India, for example, the poor drink uncontrollably, and their alcohol is very low quality. In Bodh Gaya, we saw a lot of drugs lying on the road, and lot of smoking beggar sadhus. And in general, there are more poor people than rich. So the number of suffering people in this world is huge. So such idea sounds as trying to justify theory that people should stop desires. At our Universal Life Management NGO, we offer solutions to the numerous social, economical and political problems, including the problem of poverty. We have a new model of society when every person from birth to death will be able to live the life they want. There will be no reason for conflicts, competition, hatred and wars. The world will naturally become a peaceful place to live. You can also know about it from our books, audiobooks and video. Thank you for your attention. Subscribe to our channel, write comments, like and share if you liked it. And also you can come for our live discussion. See you again. Stay with us.